Hiya, folks. You're tuned into Radio Free America. And if you're listening to this, then you are the resistance.
My name is, and I am actually the resistance. For reasons that will become obvious, any sensitive information will be beeped out, and my voice is being run through an altering software if you couldn't tell already. The TAU voice recognition software would peg me in a matter of seconds and have a bolo out for me in 5 minutes flat after this aired. Not to sound like a huge asshole, but that stereotype about Asians and technology, absolutely true. Which is part of the reason you're listening to this via shortwave radio. No school like the old school, eh? Then might as well be our frickin' motto. The lower the tech, the harder it is for Annie, that's the TAU's anti-insurgency group, to find us. And that's a far cry from where our military was before this shit show started. Can I say shit? Okay. Well, right. I guess there's no more FCC, right? I guess in a way we're pulling a page from our history book. I suppose a lot of pages actually, because what was the American Revolution but a handful of poorly equipped civilians under occupation from an outside force? It feels weird to say that now. American, almost like it's a holy word now. Well, not exactly holy. Revered. Yeah. It's been just over a year, but this place feels so alien. And it's just weird to think about my life before all this, but I'll give it a shot. Geronimo says these broadcasts will be better if we add our own personal touches to them. I don't believe that's PSYOPs bullshit, but hey, I'm willing to give anything a try for the cause. This is a lot easier for me than most of the others because I was already a soldier. Didn't mean much to me besides a paycheck and a way out of my parents' basement back then, but now it means the new people coming into this fight can dig in and be smart and last. Last a hell of a lot longer than the first wave did anyway. The first wave. It was a fucking disaster. It meant well and all, but it did absolutely nothing except for stain the clean white sidewalks around City Hall with spatters of red. Those stains are still there. Bastards never bothered to wash it off. God rest their souls, but what the hell were they thinking? Accountants, lawyers, students, housewives, none of them belonged in a fight, especially against trained forces with superior firepower. That nickname, Paper Tigers, may have started as a joke, but they are the real deal, my friends. Okay, alright, I'm rambling. Sorry. Now, the few who stand with us at least get the basics from me. An infantry grunt who barely made it through basics himself. My mom always told me I was a better teacher than I was a learner. So, standard unarmed combat, weapon operations and maintenance, land reconnaissance, fighting positions, tactical strategies. Like I said, nothing fancy, just basic stuff. But just enough to keep our people away from shit until we wanted it to come to us. Even those blowhard accountants and lawyers went from useless blood bags to intelligence assets once we started to train people. What? Do you really expect those suit and tie assholes to do any of the dirty work? Nothing has changed there, my friends. We knuckle draggers are still doing the rough and tumble work of the lower class. Repairing cars, running wire, plumbing. Except this time, we're armor plating those cars. We're wiring propane tanks to explode. You ever read that story about the guy down south who welded plate steel all over his front end loader? Drove it right through the local TAU center. They had to use some kind of tear gas or something to stop him, but god damn, by the time they did, he tore down the whole damn building. Killed the local commissary and a whole mess of deputies. I think they hung him on national TV as an example. What? Oh, plumbing? Well, plumbing is still just plumbing. Anyway, that was the real spark that started things burning. That guy with his killdozer, that hot dog vendor in New York City, who cuffed himself to his cart so he couldn't be sent to a relocation camp. A Philly zookeeper who let all of those animals out just as the TAU attempted to breach the gates. Those paper tigers really met their match that day in the form of real tigers. Those few people who at the time were considered nut jobs got the rest of us thinking. The public executions pushed us the rest of the way. Started off slow, but just like a fire, it caught and it spread throughout the occupied zones. A firebomb here, an ambush patrol there, and suddenly the quick and easy affairs of our would-be colonists turned to shit. Any occupying force relies on the 3 B's. Beans, bullets, and band-aids. That's food, weapons, and medical supplies. Any history buff can tell you that story has been true since the beginning of warfare itself, from the Roman legions, Napoleon Bonaparte, and even when Hitler tried to invade Russia in WW2. When I was overseas in Iraq, we were the good guys. We enforced order and stability. Now we're the bad guys. And our job is to create so much chaos that the entire TAU, from the commanders to the tigers, hate being here. For the grunts, it's pretty easy. Some well-worded and hateful graffiti, spread some rumors, and a lack of certain items thanks to the disrupted supply lines, and your average run-of-the-mill trooper is ready to turn it in the second he doesn't get his ration of cigarettes and coffee. The command is a little trickier to piss off, but not by much. For them, a few dozen grunts is meaningless, but you destroy some communications equipment and interrupt some public events, that really hits them where it hurts. A few weeks ago, a bunch of us led an attack the night before a public information gathering at the town park. We rigged all of the flags and banners around the stage to snap and fall to reveal the grand old stars and stripes. Yeah, baby. You'd be surprised by the amount of old ladies we have in this rebellion. Those poor gals worked for 2 days straight, sewing all those flags up, but at the time it all seemed worth it. Especially when you could see the look on everyone's face in the crowd, when the line snapped and Old Glory came flying in the wind. The crowd gasped at the sheer outlandishness of it, but once a glimpse of our old world hit 'em, chaos erupted. Pure freaking chaos. Bottles, rocks, chairs, whatever the hell wasn't nailed down turned into a weapon that day. And that's when it all went bad. 1,300 people with rocks versus 4 dozen trained soldiers with rifles. You do the math. It was fucking awful. Don't get me wrong, those people fought their damnedest. Took out 8 tigers, basically with their bare hands. But hundreds of people dead. Those bastards at the TAU didn't even bother identifying them to give them a proper burial. They just dug a great big hole right smack in the middle of the baseball field and pushed them all in with a tractor. Even worse, they managed to figure out where all the fabric came from. All the way back to the nursing home. Annie, they, I can't, I'm sorry. That's how I ended up here. Our self-proclaimed propaganda team. I guess my story is supposed to be some motivational speech or story or show the evilness of the TAU and their occupation. I don't know. Like I said, I don't believe that shit for a second, but part of my deal with the main man, Geronimo, is that I need a few weeks off before I can get back into the swing of things. And you bet your sweet Yankee asses I'm getting back in. Everybody keeps telling me that it wasn't my fault, but my Nana was in that home. I keep seeing her thin, wrinkled hands, moving through the pains of a decade worth of arthritis to cut out each and every star we put on those flags. I intend to do my part for that flag, just like my Nan. I guess the modern day meaning behind the red stripes and the American flag is valor, hardiness, something like that, but during the American Revolution, those stripes stood for blood. The blood of those who sacrificed themselves for the good of the cause, and the blood of the enemies fighting to control them. I don't intend to be a martyr like those folks back in Lexington and Concord, or like my Nan. I want my contribution to be the latter. Enemy blood, and plenty of it.
Thanks for tuning in to Radio Free America. I've got a song by Kid Rock coming up next called Warrior to give you some sweet tunes to get your rebellion on to. But first, a quick message to our boys fighting a good fight east of the Mississippi River. The man has grown his mustache. He is sitting in the chair. The chair is by the door. The man has grown his mustache. He is sitting in the chair. The chair is by the door.
'Cause freedom makes so free when you breathe red and white and blue. I'm giving on myself, 'cause that's what